Hello, this is Diana. This is my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel. On my channel, I'm helping you fearlessly and unapologetically live your best, most authentic life. I am helping you break through your barriers and transcend any limitations you may have. If that sounds good to you, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Today's video is "This too shall pass." But will you let it pass? So, you hear me say a lot in my videos, and you probably heard the saying before, that energy flows where your attention goes. So if you're going through an undesirable, unpleasant circumstance in your life right now, or experience of any kind, this too shall pass. Change is the only constant. But what keeps something active in your reality, your circumstance? The more I keep giving energy to that, good or bad, energy flows where attention goes. That's gonna keep persisting in my reality. It can't really pass if you keep thinking about it and feeling into it. You're giving a lot of energy to that. Do we need to feel how we feel? Absolutely. Don't be angry, even grieve if you have to. Allow yourself to be miserable for a certain amount of time, just so you get it out of your system. Maybe channel it into something creative like art or writing. Get it on paper. For me, a lot of times it's content creation, dance, exercise. So give yourself the amount of time to feel exactly how you need to feel, and then we focus our energy, our attention, our thoughts, our feelings elsewhere. Something that's more uplifting, more positive. If we keep giving that energy, it will give us the reality we do want, right? I know people have attachments, trauma. I've been talking a lot in my recent videos about releasing attachments because I think it's really important, especially we're on Earth, and if we keep reincarnating onto this Earth, work out karmic patterns, that also includes attachments to people, things, the past, emotions, past traumas, right? Limiting beliefs even. And if you need to go to a therapist to maybe process it in a healthier way, you know, go for it. Whatever you need to do to kind of get it out of your system. We don't get it out of our system by suppressing it, though, by avoiding the feeling, because then what you resist persists, right? It's going to keep poking at you like, what about this? What about this? This needs to be addressed, right? And you actually think and feel it even more the more you suppress it. It's not very fun, is it? It can only pass if you allow it to pass. Sometimes allowing things to pass is having a certain level of acceptance. Sometimes we have to accept that there are a lot of things that we can't control. We can only control how we respond. We can't control how that person is going to respond to this, or how they're going to act, or what their next move is. You know, sometimes we try to influence others and sometimes even project our will onto others, but they're on their own journey. You can bring the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink it, right? What someone else struggles with, you might not be struggling with, right? And vice versa. There might be something that you're struggling with, someone else might not struggle with, but we can all learn from each other. And we can allow people to be themselves and to experience what they need to experience for their soul's growth. They need that journey. And while we like to help people and think we know what's best for people, maybe what's best for them is to go through their own, even sometimes suffering. It's an inside job. That's when we have to let go of the control, right? Trying to force our will. You can only do so much. I think this also relates to allowing something to pass within yourself, because sometimes we just have to surrender and say, you know what? I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know what's going to happen, but I've done everything I can do. I put my best foot forward, and I did what I felt was right in the moment. And that's all I could do. And, you know, maybe I'm going to learn a lesson from this. Maybe I'll learn a hard lesson from this. But this is going to help me evolve and help my soul grow in some kind of way. That's how you become an alchemist in your life. Sometimes you got to make something out of nothing, right? You got to turn a bad situation that seems like hopeless into something to empower you, to help you, right? Sometimes we have to allow these things to pass so we can move forward. How can we move forward in our life when you're too attached to the past, or how you think something should be or could be, or just like having really high hopes or something and getting disappointed? And then you keep holding on to that. Sometimes we build resentment, we have anger, disappointment, depression. Surrender, allow it to be exactly what it is, and allow something to bloom in its own time. Or the more energy I give to this, the more it's staying in my energy field. And then when that's staying in my energy field, when I'm thinking and feeling that way and I'm not happy about it, you are a magnet for that energy as well. You get what you put out. So you're putting out that kind of energy, and you're going to keep getting that back, because that's what you're focusing on. And then sometimes you miss all the other blessings and things that are going well because you can't let something pass. You can't just allow something to be imperfect. You can't allow something to be what it is. You can't accept it. So surrender, accept, trust the process. Stop trying to force things. You stop giving energy to that thing that's really frustrating you, that's pissing you off, that you can't let go of. If you just stop giving energy to that and just gently direct your energy towards something that you love, that brings you joy, something you're passionate about, or just something else in general that maybe is healthy or good for you, that thing will pass and you'll stop thinking and feeling about so much. Of course, like I said, you have to process the emotion. Then after you start to process and release that, directing your energy elsewhere, that reality will cease to exist, or you're not giving as much energy and attention to it, so that's going to fade out. It might still kind of trigger you because you had like emotional attachments to that, or mentally you couldn't stop thinking about it. It's more about being that feminine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy in us. Allowing things to flow and pass, and accepting. It doesn't mean we necessarily agree with something, but I can just allow this to be what it is right now, knowing that it's going to change. Maybe having a positive expectation that it can change. Change is the only constant. Yes, there are a lot of people that are resistant to change. Watch it transform. It might actually take a different turn, take a different route. Sometimes we think we know exactly how something's going to play out based on our past trauma, past experiences, or just negative beliefs or expectations, right? What if it worked out better than you thought it would? Just because it doesn't look like the way you think it should look like doesn't mean it's not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. Doesn't mean it's not going to change. But we have to allow it to change. Allow it to take its natural course so it can change. It can't change when you keep giving energy, attention to it, and putting this negative vibration to it, and that's what you're going to focus on because it's triggering you and it just keeps going. Try to have more of a light heart about it. The more you can detach and kind of maybe even see humor in it, sometimes it gets kind of ridiculous, right? Or just allow things to be, the happier we'll be, and the more likely that thing is to change because you're releasing the resistance. If you like this content, hit those like and subscribe buttons. I also have a Facebook group, Instagram, TikTok, and 2 podcasts. The links are in this video description. I also offer coaching, and my contact information is in this video description. Have a good day. Namaste.